Surprisingly, we're seeing different opening builds and strategies between these two. It's going to be a slow Tet Fiend opening out of 1-2-0 and the more tempo potential starting build with Lich and Ghouls. With the Lich Ghouls, you have the potential to creep very fast, especially if you're left alone. But 1-0 wisely was harassing Happy a little bit, slowing down his progress. So in the end, the Lich still finds himself far away from the level 3 level up. And the DK might get it first even.
Oh.
Next last hit here with the coil. Really good items already for 1-2-0.
You are far ahead because due to production stuff I'm still fast forwarding. But yeah, it is how they always have played this matchup. Happy with Lich and aggression, 1-2-0 with the timing destroyer attack. Here is what Remo Demo mentioned. Lich gets the last hit. And on paper, these DK harasses always seem a bit impossible to achieve anything. Lich is an insta-cast, Coil has travel time. So if Happy plays perfectly, there shouldn't be an opening for 1-2-0. But miraculously, he does create these moments. Happy is playing very aggressive against 1-2-0's base. I'm actually a bit surprised, tanking a lot of damage here as 1-2-0 oftentimes does. Fiend numbers are rising, creep speed is accelerating. And damn, I'm far behind. I'm at the 5-minute mark now, just to give you an indicator. Happy about to get a Fiend here, so close, and with the investment of another Nova, he gets that first Fiend. That's the worst thing that can happen to 1-2-0 in an early game. Plus, no level 2. I would say this is half a disaster for 1-2-0 so far.
Yeah, definitely not a great start. He was at least able to get the item from his side. And as I mentioned, it's a great item indeed. Looking good already with Claws and Mantle. And it's going to get level 2 then soon. But ideally want to have that level up for the Aura as fast as possible. Similar to an Archmage. With a DK, you want that as soon as you can. And of course, losing that Fiend hurts. So, not a great early game for 1-2-0. But there's still lots of comeback potential. If you can now go for a stable creep game in the mid game, cruise towards 50 supply, that is where his strength lies. 50 supply, destroyers, triple hero, orb, and then with Nova, he oftentimes will have the advantage because Nova tends to be very good against ghouls, while it's still really nice against fiends as well. Against ghouls, it really, really shines.
Right on. We got great items for 1-2-0's Lich. Same can be said about Happy's Lich with Claws and Mantle. DK, we all know that 1-2-0 likes to use him as a little bit of a bait to soak up damage. This DK seems way too hurt. Lich coming in from the left-hand side, slowing Happy down, or is he just misrallied? Ooh, this looks, from the early 7 minutes, a bit fumbly-bumbly on the 1-2-0 side of things.
1-2-0 quickly feels that this is the most successful player of recent times. You have to respect him, but having the statue out now is a big help. Nova invested here by Happy to get the next item, the Gloves of Haste, picked up. This Lich of his is going to be looking really strong. And if I saw that right in the early game, I think Happy lost no ghouls. So his frenzy timing should also pack a good punch.
1-2-0 is getting very, very close to the destroyer timing. His tech is so far ahead. Halfway through the Destro timing. He, of course, doesn't need the frenzy timing in comparison to Happy. So with tier 3 done, this will be Dark Ranger. We are lacking resources, though. That is interesting. Fiend over third hero. What's this 1-2-0 play?
1-2-0 oftentimes goes very greedily, you almost want to say, for tier 3. Wants to have the orb available as soon as he can and work on Destroyer. Very often will do that with a 2 Fiend into tier 3 tech, which is, I guess, not unusual for him. He will oftentimes forego the early strength for the tier 3 powerful timing. And we'll have the Dark Ranger, I guess, in 20 seconds. With the orb, indeed, and the statues now, he has good staying power in the middle. Wants to get the next item here, but Happy's making his life difficult while creeping with the DK solo.
Yeah, exactly. Love that play. The range heroes keep their distance, slow 1-2-0 down. His DK is accelerating. Oftentimes in the matches versus Labby, he had lower versus Labby, he had the lower second heroes, whether that's DK or Lich, oftentimes the DK, and then he was at a disadvantage. Now that clearly falls to 1-2-0 with only a level 1 Lich. That was the sighting in the last Undead mirror we've seen. Subi Mask, super nice. 1-2-0 going for the Destro timing, and Happy has no web.
Creepjack here could be absolutely wonderful. Some ghouls are slowed. 1-0 has a perfect moment that he's catching right here, and this is what he's aiming for. This is what the strategy is all about. Add 50 supply. This strat is so good, and he catches 2 ghouls instantly, maybe even a third. He's looking for the statue kills. Oh man, Happy getting caught with his pants down.
Exactly. That was rough, man. Interesting to see that 1-0 is attacking the statue too early. That is rather new to me. Maybe a little bit of positioning advantage. 2 destroyers also very early. This is 1-0 oppressive now, and that's always been the crucial moment for Happy in these games. His ghouls are amazing early game. They built a more than solid foundation for the games, but Fiends Destros is the mix down the road. There's no other way to play this matchup except if you go only destroyers, which we've seen between Happy and Labby at some point. So this is 1-0's moment, and this is where he has to do damage.
He's relying on very strong right clicks right now. We see how much the Lich is doing. Doesn't have an invul potion though, so this is where Happy definitely has to be careful. Nice last hit still here on the Knoll. Nova is worth it to get the last hit on the level 5 creep. Happy now with destroyers as well. Web has been upgraded. But the big item goes to 1-0, and the heal potion is actually really good because at some point when the fiends are dead, the heroes will be targeted next.
Yeah, I love to see that. So this will be good. The Subi Mask is also amazing. Nobody can really complain about items, I guess. Taking good chunks of XP away from Happy's side, who is now going to the red spot. 1-0 falling back for his natural, and very, very likely the orange spot for the next consumable. Or is he skipping that in favor of the red?
A player's forces are under attack.
Ooh.
Happy indeed going for the red camp here fairly early. Might take a little while to creep. He doesn't have that much piercing. And speaking of piercing damage, this might be a problem for him later on. The anti-air with Fiends from 1-0 is looking a lot better right now. And the timing again to catch the opponent unawares, coming in from behind for the Creepjack.
1-0 is losing the Dark Ranger pretty much right away. Happy has destroyers now. The Golem is still there, and that caused some trouble for Happy recently. DK by 1-0 under fire, has an invul potion, needs it soon. Super decisive fight. 1-0 with the Fiend firepower. Takes out destroyer after destroyer, but they're falling on both sides. The Dark Ranger and the Silence is missing, but he didn't have that anyway. Next Destro about to fall. Hero as well. Happy in dire straits.
Force the TP away though. DK has to leave. With that, Happy is hoping to get the red camp, but with so little army left, this is going to be very hard to pull off. 1-0 still has the much bigger force.
Bit interesting to me that he didn't swap the invul potion to the DK and portals out, but maybe without the Dark Ranger. Both Dark Rangers fell. 1-0 will have some time to catch up with the entire left lane being up for grabs, including Happy's expansion on the upper left-hand side. But yeah, you mentioned it, man. This is only 4 units left. The Golem gets a Fiend. Oh, mamma mia, grande madonna. Battle Drums probably not making up for that. And 1-0 gets a big invul once again. This is rather gnarly. Let's do a quick sync, Mr. Remo Demo. 12, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 30.
Creeping continues, but Happy being a little, well, modest with his creeping. There's only a couple of green camps left down here with a small force. He can't really try to achieve much more. 10 supply lead still being held on to by 1-0. But of course, Happy is making more gold right now. 1-0 might be aware of this, so sooner or later, he's going to be forced to go for another aggressive maneuver as he picks up the same red camp item. Warsong Battle Drums. And Happy trying to get as much experience as he can from the map. Mostly remainders of camps without extra items.
Crazy how 1-0 surpassed him in XP. He is ahead now with the same levels on DK and Lich. Dark Ranger is almost an entire level ahead for 1-0. Plus he gets Happy's natural now. That's a sweet, sweet, sweet spot if he has the time to get it. Map is empty. No temples. We stick with Fiends and with Destroyers. We're not going into a straight up Destroyer mirror. And 1-0 actually being not close to any meaningful level ups after reaching Dark Rangers 3. Going straight for the base.
Alright, next fight breaks out. Destroyer webbed right away. Death Knight for Happy, far forward, taking a lot of damage right away. That Invo Potion is going to be necessary possibly quite soon. Destro's getting webbed and coiled, healed up, but also killed off. Question is, what's going to be better, the high-level Lich or the high-level DK?
Destroyers are falling left and right. 1-0 has the Fiend advantage, the best Fiend micro in the world. Nova hitting hard. Coil saves the Destroyer for now. Trying to use some burrow here. A hair too late. No shade on the field. Happy is losing another Fiend by 1-0. Saves them one after the next. My lord! 1-0 putting on a clinic in the second half of map 1.
Be fighting at home, but he's losing a lot of units here. Finally, he has the dust. Gonna take out one more Fiend. Lich taking a lot of damage, by the way. Happy playing this entire time without invuln on the Lich. This is very scary. So far, keeping the heroes alive, but the Dark Ranger, she might be falling. Not quite yet. Mana Potion and the Coil is there for the save. Happy, of course, has the way faster reinforcements here, falling back into the last nook of his base. 1-0 seems to have the easier fight here. More supply and also more Invul Potions.
16 food ahead. If he saves that Lich, and maybe if he kills that Lich, this game 1 is over. Happy in the ropes. Another kill right there, though, with the Destro. Always an easy way to even out the odds. We get more mana, and 1-0 gotta be careful to not overpace this with the DK, using the Invul Potion first and foremost. He doesn't have a TP, and he didn't break Happy. Is there a chance to come back? Not without a Lich.
Got 25 supply. He lost a lot right here, looking for follow-up kills. There's no mana for another Coil on 1-0 at the moment. If the Fiend with a dust could be a double kill. Happy got a lot of exit kills right here.
Bro, when he is bent, not broken, you gotta chop the entire head off, not just a piece of it. No expansion behind it. The supply has vastly evened out, and the dust settles after this meaningful fight. Holy hell, what a comeback by Happy for now.
Snowy Mask, by the way, an absolutely sensational item that 1-0 is enjoying on his Death Knight. He's gonna have a Coil slowly regenerating throughout the entire rest of the game. This is absolutely wonderful. He's going to have way more mana on the DK than Happy does. But Happy's close level 5 Lich. And level 3 Nova is an absolute beast in this matchup. But Happy still seems to be playing from behind, simply having had more losses this game.
Have to say, though, that Labby was able to defeat Happy despite being a Nova level down. And the DK is close to 5 as well, even though Coil 3 isn't that meaningful in this matchup. Except if we play Abominations, but who does that? Upgrades, 1-0 for Happy with the 1-1 coming, 2-1 for 1-2-0 super early on. And we get a new layer to the strategy. We get the return of the Banshees.
It seems like 1-0 has the resources and the already available army size to afford this luxury of going for an additional tech, whereas Happy absolutely cannot afford it. He needs to make just units that he can make right now to stay somewhat competitive. And if only he could get 1 or 2 more creeps for that level 5.
1-2-0 had very good vision on Happy's base thanks to the Sentry Ward. That's a Fiend for free! And that's finally level 5.
1 Immo Potion still only on Happy, so that makes especially the Lich a very viable and juicy target. Death Knight and Dark Ranger at the same time for 1-0. Very close to leveling up in the next fight. That should be achievable quite quickly. As another Fiend is getting caught out on the map, but I think this time DK should get in range for the save.
Not sure. Happy is allowed back into the game. Dark Ranger, great damage on Happy's side. Already 1.5k more. That was, of course, due to the Dark Ranger falling early and Happy's Dark Ranger being there a little earlier. Double damage on the Lich for Happy. 18k versus 9k. And this is now the last remaining creep spot. But that was 1-0, buying time for the anti-magic.
Need some more time though to get truly full value out of this tech. It's gonna need a handful of Banshees so you can properly apply the AMS. Happy still not even at 50 supply, by the way.
Neither is 1-0. Haha, got you there.
Happy now going for his own Temple of the Damned.
That's late. Classic
That's
Happy.
1 minute for the building, 1 minute for the upgrade, so 2 minutes behind, pretty much.
Classic Happy move to sell the altar. If he loses a hero now, the game is over anyway. On the other side, 1-0 with the third attack upgrade. That is so meaningful in Fiend Destroyer fights.
Happy's going for 2-1 at the same time. Happy's ghoul count is way lower. And his lumber is reflecting that clearly. It's kind of insane that 1-0 has this much lumber, having had only 3 ghouls the entire game.
I don't want to open up the can of worms of lumber discussions with this chat, Primo.
Undead's get a shredder for free! Unbelievable!
Kind of true.
Wait, he's going for master training?
Oh, what?
That is gonna
Are under attack.
nullify his timing advantage then entirely. Master training takes a long time to upgrade. Happy's gonna have his adept training finishing then just in time. Maybe 1-0 feels like with his timing advantage he cannot really, you know, capitalize on anything too well, so may as well use your time, use your resources to get more upgrades. The master upgrade though, most of the time, doesn't really do much. Usually it's just a bit more mana.
Yeah. More mana pool and more mana regen. It would be a baller move though to steal Happy's Fiends in game 1 of this meaningful best of 5.
You know, I'm glad that we're not in the pure mass destroyer territory yet. We might get there at some point in this series. We'll see about it.
A player's forces are under attack.
Is 1-0 going for more upgrades? It doesn't seem so. Second defend upgrade would be there. 1-0 break-in now. Doesn't seem like we want an expansion to draw this out. Happy was posturing up quite a bit. His anti-magic is up. First Banshee in production. Due to that master training, of course, 1-0 wasn't able to produce for a long time. So Banshee count is the same.
I would love to see Happy throw out a couple of Novas here. He's got the strong level 3 Nova. But 1-0 now, he's expanding actually with the mains expiring. Happy's going for a sacrificial pit. He's got still a decent amount of gold to spend. It's going to be all Fiend Banshees here in the big fight that is to come. Question is just, is Happy going to try to go for his own expansion? I think the answer is no. The lumber just doesn't allow for it, it seems.
Yeah. Sacrificial pit is pretty expensive in lumber. He spent it all there. This expansion is very interesting to me. 1-0 must feel comfortable then that Happy can't break him on almost even supply. Does he know about Happy's Banshee transition? Did he see that?
I don't think he did, but we had a big lull where there was no action and nothing really happening, so maybe 1-0 is anticipating the Banshee tech to come from that. That is, after all, the best thing you can go for pretty much in this matchup when facing Fiends. Happy now going for a big unsummon. Lots of ziggurats being removed. If a hero dies, there's no way of getting it back. And how's Happy going to spend the last bit of his cash is the remaining question. Happy's going to have to go all in here in a moment.
And he is 65 food. 1-0's expansion not paying off just yet, so we end up on even supply. Banshee numbers 3 versus 4, with 1-0's of course being better. The Fiends are also better due to the 3-1 upgrade. Happy's heroes slightly better. Can 1-0 get an army on the ground in time?
One heal scroll. And then it should be time to go. Wanna apply AMS everywhere. Happy sees the opponent approaching. Could use the shade as well for vision. I feel like that could be done a little bit better.
We'll use it to see the burrowed Fiend. 1-0, man. Posturing up in front of Happy's base, making sure that there is no expansion. Double checking the left-hand side. Happy knows with the shade that there is an expo, but 1-0 knows that Happy knows due to the ward there was.
And now with everything having AMS, how good is Nova really gonna be? I mean, it is still really good slow. First Banshee goes down, in we go. Curse also gonna be strong. Happy cannot go for destroyers, so there's no way for him to dispel the curse.
That's right. Oh, it looks a bit fumbly-bumbly here on 120's side. The opening wasn't too great. Is Happy just a little more solid in this first Undead mirror of the day. Banshee position, nice statue position moving forward a little bit. Burrow is here, but so is the Shade, leading to more Fiend kills. 120 gets another one. That's level 5 on him, but more and more Fiends are falling. We need reinforcements.
Reinforcements 120 should be coming in. He's got the running base, of course. He's got the gold mine, the expansion. That is his win condition. Destroyer going to be taken out now. The AMS is starting to wear off. The Nova seems to be breaking through the anti-magic slowly over time. Nova also onto 120's Lich, taking lots of damage. Has to go for the Invul Potion. One of those Invulns now gone. Another one's still available on the Death Knight.
So close, man. So close. Coil is there. We got way more. Happy's Lich behind enemy lines, but close to the DK. Being saved one more time. Lich might be in trouble for 120 soon if we can muster up another Nova. The heroes are starting to fall. Supply is still neck and neck.
Destroyer for the Dispel against the Skeletons coming in as well. 120 trying to find more and more kills. Death Knight kind of hurt. Comes in with a coil there, though, holding on still to the Invul Potion. I'm not sure if Happy has reveal anymore. I don't think he does. He should be bringing in a new Shade. But Happy now losing a lot of units. He's trying to go for the Lich kill. If there's a Nova, this might be enough. He's silenced himself. Who's going to be silenced less? He gets the kill with the Nova. Happy looking for the closeout here, despite having no expo.
Oh my god. So close, man. DK falls as well. He does it. Somehow he does it. He was down 15, 16 food. An unbelievable comeback by Happy. 120 got him so close to a defeat on map 1. But Happy doing happy things. We'll see if there's a change in second or third heroes. Naga is always possible on 120's side. Crypt Lords are always possible. So
true.
If we see changes, it's probably in that direction.
On more passive maps with lots of space and lots of creeps, that's normally where we see Crypt Lord quite a bit. Can be very strong, but only if he gets the right items and levels. Dark Ranger, that's the great thing about her. Doesn't need any items or levels really. While they are still good on her, she is still functional on level 1 without items. Crypt Lord, a lot less so.
The DK is creeping the null spot on the right hand side.
Taking a lot of damage here.
What?
Shouldn't he have... If this is his opening creep route, I don't even think this is a question. He should certainly have a Ritual Dagger.
Players' forces are under attack.
Imagine the value right now of Ritual Dagger.
Yeah, would be nice. Maybe this is not going as expected. Maybe... No, man. Not sold on this. Happy will be hurt as well after the ghouls kill the
Lich items,
Murlocs.
though, are crazy. 2 perfect items for the Lich early on, and that is early into the game. 3 minutes. He's gonna get so much value out of these items throughout the entire game.
120 a little lucky to not be caught here. Was distracting on the right hand side at the natural, while then creeping the Shadow Priest, and he is so lucky to get the replenishment potion.
But Happy, not unlucky either, is he?
Jesus.
The next item here. Oh, yeah, well, I think we can call that not unlucky certified.
Should rename to Lucky? And then at Rara we play the Britney Spears song as an entrance music.
You know, I used to have, in elementary school, I used to have the Britney Spears album, and I used to love it back then. Yeah, that was my jam. I'm trying to recall what it was called.
Well, probably Oops, I Did It Again. Man, in this day and age with the TikTok dances, you'd be a megastar.
Oh my god. Thank god I escaped that timeline.
Oh, never too late, Mr. Remo. Never too late. Imagine the clicks.
A player's forces are
Imagine this Lich's damage output this game, by the way. He had a great first map already. Picking off some skellies here and there. And throwing his weight around already. With level 3 strong right now. Lots of mana upon him. This is, of course, the downside of the Ted Fiend build. You're pretty weak early. You can't really do that much. And look again at 120's 3D tech. He's staying on 2 Fiends only. And he's going to rush tier 3 again very fast.
Not that big of an advantage, to be fair. 20 seconds, yeah, but This might even out a little bit with more lumber income. Lich second by 120 to catch up. Lich by Happy now, almost a bit over leveled. But he's keeping the DK away from 3. That is superb. He finds a replenishment potion himself, which is also superb. And skeletons are down already. Super oppressive game by Happy.
Oh, triggering the end snare. I know that's one of your favorites, Neo. Last refuge special. Getting a Fiend kill here would be big, but there are a couple of coils available. At the same time, still some Novas. DK hurt now himself, but should be fast enough to get away.
Player's forces are
I
under
agree.
attack.
If he runs out of vision, there's another Nova, though the arms were already up in the air. Oh, should be enough, and then the counter Lich is coming, and Happy doesn't want to dive into that. Plays it safe. Nice exchanges here. No Fiend losses this time. 1 Ghoul loss on Happy's side. But yeah, the items are almost... I don't want to say game deciding. What's a better way to phrase it?
Certainly going to be aiding in the mission to win this game. And you mentioned the Lich being over-leveled earlier. I love that. If I'm the Lich player, I should say, I would love that because every Lich level is big. Level 3, obviously, for the level 2 Nova. Level 4 for the Dark Ritual. Also really good, with the Dark Ranger most likely joining later. And, of course, Neo. Plus 4 intelligence. We don't want to forget about that.
Ah.
And then if you get to level 5, that Nova is also insane. If Lich gets 5, seems like 120 has to have Banshees to have a chance.
I kind of agree. 120 crept the shop, sells the mana potion. Happy keeps onto it.
Wait, he sold the mana potion. What is going on recently with people selling mana potions, by the way?
It's a trend for a long time. 120 is so dependent on timings in this strategy. He wants... This is a lot of gold that you get for this.
It's a lot of mana
potion.
as well. Dude, if the DK runs out of mana in the fight, I'm going to be wagging my finger.
I'm pretty sure timing is worth more. But yeah, it is a claw plus 12.
Oh my god. He can't even carry all these items. Legit.
Oh, this is crazy, man. This is crazy. To be fair, against Labby, Happy was oftentimes on the receiving end of good of the good items of Labby. And 120 is not one to complain. He got the same potion, right? He just decided to sell it. He got the Robe of the Magi, which is also fantastic. I mean, you are raving about the plus 4 intelligence. This plus 6 intelligence, plus the circlets. It's gonna be a good fight.
This is also outstanding inventory, a little bit more well-rounded for 120. Happy's Lich is a glass cannon. He needs an invuln desperately in this game.
You're a fan of the peak level 4 Lich. I'm a fan of a more average level distribution, and this is what 120 is acquiring now with level 3/3 plus the Dark Ranger. There we go. Perfectly lines up for that. He is too late for the red spot now, as Happy stole that one away, as he sees. But we're getting close to the so dangerous destroyer timing of 120.
This game, though, he can't catch Happy the way he was on the first map, further out on another camp. This time he's going to have to go way into Happy's base, so I feel like Happy's creep timing is better this time. He knows 120 is strong right now. I want to stay a bit defensive right here as I'm still working on my levels and my upgrades. What are these items? Zombie mask. Claws, mantle, big mana. This is ridiculous.
So this to me is proof that either karma isn't a thing or Happy has a part of his life that we are totally not aware of.
This is incredible amounts of luck. To be honest, 120 also has good items, and he got another good one right here. The Ancient Django might even be better if we get to big armies. But this Lich, look at these right clicks, baby. Look at these right clicks. They're hurting real good.
It's 7,000 damage already. Oh, Fiend is falling. This time the destroyer push not nearly as impressive. The coil misses though.
I should have seen this one coming from a good ways away. 2 ghouls go down and a Fiend. 120 here, good play. Falling back into a favorable position and getting a few kills here for free.
Destroyer's got mana again. 46. Destroyer upgrade for Happy is up, as well as the web. 1-0 catching up in upgrades now. But yeah, he still has to find a way to contest this Lich.
Plus 30 damage. Every hit hurts. Very important here to be in the right position with your destroyer dispel. And there, too much damage, dude. Couple of right clicks and a Nova, and there she goes.
Boom goes the dynamite. The Invo Potion was on the Lich. This coil is on time, but the previous one wasn't. Fiends are falling apart. He's trying to get the high ground, but Happy's ghouls for once, very oppressive. The web is so much better timed than before. This is looking horrendous for 1-0. Lich has no TP though, but a coil. Thanks to the mana potion.
Quite insane. Lich now 1-0 in trouble as well. Coil comes in, holding on to the invuln still. Ghoul in the back, very cute, was trying to take out the Fiend, but that one gets punished. But if Happy can trade out ghouls to trade for Fiends, this is great for him. Of course, he knows his ghouls will be falling off. Destroyer morphed and saved, but everything's so hurt now for 1-0.
Well, Happy was in the ropes on game 1. Maybe 1-0 can pull a little bit of a miracle as well. He was trying to lure the creeps, but the bait didn't work. Ooh, this is so close. Now he's buying a mana potion. How ironic.
Happy's Lich, very low mana. Should use some Dark Ritual. Sometimes even eating a Fiend can be worth it. Eating a Fiend is a lot of mana, baby. It's 2.5 Novas.
That's
and 1.5 minutes until Infi lags out.
I was about to say, this is an Infi lag out. Oh man, supply still in favor of 1-2-0. Only one ghoul remaining for Happy. If he doesn't close it out, he will run into lumber issues. This is not over yet.
I think Happy here would love to keep on trading and of course not lose too much. I imagine he's got that level 5 Lich in mind. Every step that he gets closer is wonderful for him.
Like ritual used for a little bit of mana as well. So efficient. 12,000 damage on this Lich at the 12-minute mark. That is just mental.
And so much is coming from the right clicks as well. Plus 30 damage against plus 15. And you know, plus 15, that's normally really good, you know?
Yep.
It is a different kind of a level.
He has a double damage rune. Oh my god, this is Book of the Dead in a town portal. Nice snipe by 1-2-0. Pays the price with a Destro and a TP. Last creep goes to Happy. This Book of the Dead, of course, is not what he wanted, but it's good gold.
He's punished though by Happy. He saw that 1-2-0 wanted to come in for the item, forces the TP, kills off the Destroyer, so that does favor him in the resource department. Now we got 1-0 on 50. However, first, a little bit surprising maybe, and now it might be time to clear up the rest of the map, work on upgrades, and work on more levels.
Okay, time for a little bit of a breather here. 2-1 upgrades coming on Happy. 2-0 on the way. Against this Lich, you might want a little bit of extra armor, maybe. We don't have Burrow yet. Maybe that was just to throw Happy off in game 1, or he can't afford it yet because he lost so much. Another creep spot. We're trying to get the levels up high, but Happy has the perfect read once again.
He's expecting the opponent up here at the turtle. 1-2-0 is trying to set up a flank. I think this might be successful. Nova into everything right away. The Lich in serious trouble. Heal scroll has to be used to keep him alive. This heal scroll perhaps a little bit wasted. Happy gets caught with not as prepared of an army, it seems.
What a nice trap that was. Could have backfired. Lich! Invo Potion gets another Fiend here despite the coil. How do you get out though? Potion must be used on the DK. Otherwise he's catching a Nova very, very soon. Lich in trouble once again. Happy has to TP out. Lots of losses. This Fiend falling as well. What a brilliant move by 1-2-0.
Yeah, absolutely perfect setup. 1-2-0 was expecting Happy to go up there and look for the punish, but it is he who ends up being the punisher. And that now definitely lands him in the lead. 50 supply still, lots of gold, gets the camp, ring +5. Still with a bigger army, but Happy wants to keep brawling. Might get one Destroyer here for free.
Dark Ranger level 3. Love that ring to not be so much of a glass cannon. Full mana destroyer is wept and nuked and killed. That's so much value. Happy on his last lack here, aiming for the DK, but as so often, DK of 120 starts the fight very far forward, then moves back. He desperately needs a statue now for some heal and regen.
The heal potion gonna help him out already. Happy playing with way inferior fiend numbers. But he's not lacking confidence apparently. On the high ground, wants to creep up more. 120 ready for another punish. Big Nova, those fiends feeling the pain. There's gonna be at least one going down.
Oh my, here is one. The second one. Ogre Magi cast some Bloodlust, can be dispelled for some extra damage, gets the Magi down 2. Holy. 120 turning it up to 11 thus far. Happy down to 1 fiend, 3 heroes, 1 statue.
I think this game even bigger of a lead, way bigger lead than the first map. This time it seems like Happy may have bitten off more than he can chew. 120 got so many kills, so much XP. Going into upkeep this time early. Building towards a bigger army. And also with another Acolyte will be trying to expand again, I think.
The Lich of 120 is almost caught up in damage, by the way. It's only a 2k difference, which is fascinating.
I think the big mistake there by Happy was he entered that fight without invuln on the Lich. He had TP on the Lich, and he took heavy damage to the Lich early on, but didn't want to TP away. He ran back, used the heal scroll, wasted the heal scroll. Just not enough invulns for Happy, honestly. That was the real problem in that engagement.
Being down after the silence, but that was one of the last ones. And 120 is distracting from his second base at the top, which of course will even the odds a little bit. It's quite an investment. 120 also in upkeep already, so there is potential for a comeback with one extraordinary fight.
Happy was supposed to get more kills of the previous fight, was supposed to perhaps get more creeps. He was supposed to be level 5 by now, and that would have been such a strong position. Because of course this game there is no Banshees, but this game there is 120 in a very strong position with a bigger army, with slightly worse upgrades, but way better numbers.
Forced into a coil once again. DK at like 1/3. This is so much more healing for 120, plus of course movement speed advantage. Let's not forget about that. He has double movement speed advantage actually, aiming for that DK, and there is no TP. Can he reach? Ooh, that escape on 24. 666 keeps him in the game, but again, no items will cost so much.
Yeah, these rings of protection have been amazing for the Death Knight, actually. Normally we don't talk about this much in Undead Mirror, because usually the Fiends get focused, but yeah, when the DK's up front, he oftentimes eats the Nova and the Focus Fire, and there the rings for 120 are coming in big. Happy would love to have some rings of his own, I guess. Maybe you could even make the argument that he got a few too many claws, not enough rings.
Don't tell Todd.
Now we got the Expo mining up top. Not yet fully saturated, but soon it will be. And I think Happy has no clue.
Yeah, this is not looking like it. Fiends are falling. It's a pretty straight up fight here. With all the advantages for 120, super close to 5. Constant pressure on the heroes. Never forcing an issue, but always very respectable damage on the targets. One Fiend down here, but it's so narrow, man. If one coil is too late, a Fiend/hero falls. Is not allowed. These guys at peak performance.
Feels like Happy could have gotten 1 or 2 more kills here if he had committed more with the Lich. Maybe because he has no invul now anymore, he's a little hesitant. Sitting at 50 supply still. He has a decent army, but 120's army has become huge. That Expo is really paying off.
Especially now that it's saturated, or soon to be saturated. Heal scroll and invul. Lich close to level 5 finally, but this time that's also the case on 120. Still fighting for the turtle at the bottom right, the last big piece of XP and the last item on the map. But yeah, it is surely 120's game to lose.
Going for the hero focus here. No, never mind, there was a Fiend, excuse me. With the silence, getting the kill. That is Lich level 5 at last. Does seem a bit late though. Does seem a bit too late. Happy is building a bank, trying to fall back. this move speed aura has proven really, really good as well.
Yep. Alongside, for a long time, the Unholy Aura. Movement speed is a very, very important thing in Warcraft 3, especially in the hands of these two giants. And he's keeping Happy pinned. 1-2-0 is. There's no chance to move top. Happy is scouting now. He smells something's fishy here. You're not pushing really into my base. You're not going for the throat. What's happening? Well, that's a big problem soon.
Forces are under attack.
This looks like a checkmate position. What is Happy supposed to do here? If he leaves to go north, 1-0 could easily slaughter his acolytes, but there's no TP on 1-0, so I guess that's a bit dangerous. They might meet in the middle. Big supply lead for the Chinese player here.
Alrighty. 13 food, not as big as in game 1, and Happy was still able to turn it around. That was in his base though. Nuke on the DK. Happy playing a bit 1-2-0 style with the bait DK. Lich! Saved into an invo potion. Needs the coil, is off cooldown now. Must be applied almost immediately. Holds on to it for now as the statues are regenerating. Happy is in dire straits. He needs that kill, but the coil at the ready. We got lots and lots and lots of destroyers. The fiend numbers are quickly dwindling.
He has the better levels here. He has the better supply. He has the better economy. This should be his game on paper. Can Happy somehow find a miracle? Going for the invo potion now on the Lich. That's going to be the last invuln for the time being. Picks up the heal scroll as well. Going to be necessary momentarily. There it is. Destroyers are starting to take over in the air. With no badges to protect the fiends, they quickly get taken out. Lich for 1-0. Very hurt as well. But that coil just saves him.
What about the other side though? There's nothing to save this DK. There was a town portal, but maybe that was too late. The coil through the forest, the Lich is falling as well, and we got a tight series between Happy and 1-0.
Yeah, crazy how just one backstab, one flank completely turned the tide of this game. In this matchup, it's so important to react quickly. If you don't do the proper spells and the proper target and the proper kiting for like 5 seconds, the fight might be already lost. The game might be already lost. That was the mistake here by Happy, going in a bit too hot-headed while 1-0 was setting up a beautiful counter. And also, invul potions. Happy needs to have an invul on the Lich. Not having one is, I think, clearly a mistake.
Hello viewer. You are watching the Dolphin Warcraft Super League, an amazing tournament with 200 matches over 2 months where 15 players are competing for $28,000. To be able to broadcast this, we had to acquire the broadcasting rights from the sponsor and organizer. We gladly did this because it's peak content and just an amazing competition. We had to pay from our own pockets though, and if you like what we do and if you like that we bring you the games free of charge, then you can help us make it worth it. At backtowarcraft.com/support, you find all the ways to support it, whether that's a Twitch sub or a YouTube membership or a dono or a Patreon, or just grab a little bit of our merch in the stream description. Thank you for your attention, and now have fun with the games. Yeah, I'd be very surprised if that's anything, but Lich Ghouls and DK Fiends and the openers are guaranteed. Here it is. I totally did not forget to fast forward. Echo Owls, any Undead Mirror specialties here?
Well, the fast expansion ease is something that comes to mind. It is also really good for Lich creeping. Lots of medium armor, lots of claws to pick up, many smaller camps close to each other. The turtles in the middle, especially. The green camp, the shop, and the other green camp, so easy to take with ghouls and skellies and try to stack up on items. And I guess that's what Happy's going to be trying to rely on as well, again, early on, his creep speed advantage.
We got a couple of supporters here. Thank you, Hybrid Minds. Thank you, SNS. Thank you, Soul 8man, for the raid. And of course, Fishy, Acid, and Drukon for the subs earlier. If you enjoy what you see, we had to pay for the broadcasting rights from our pocket. And if you want to help us compensate, check if you have a Prime sub available. Shout out to Shodan in the YouTube chat saying, I like that the YouTube URL has pork in it. It is very fitting, isn't it?
Hog day of Warcraft today, that's for sure. First creep camp also taken by 1-2-0. He went for the circlet. I like that. It's going to have great value over the course of this game. As Happy is going for early brawling, which can be a bit dangerous. In the sense that it means that you're not creeping in the meantime. And usually the Lich wants to creep quickly, get that level lead going. But Happy apparently is feeling in the mood for a fight right now. Gets the first kill, but also gonna lose a ghoul. Oh,
Very-
speaking of ghouls, by the way.
Yeah, it's
Hold
ghouls.
the phone, mister.
I was about to say, like...
There's no fiends.
There is no fiends. He did build a graveyard. He had this, let's say, 1-2-0 fiends with 4 ghouls into fiends, but this was 5. And he lost 2.
Interesting.
Yeah, very interesting. I don't really see why.
Yeah, he never normally does this. Maybe his thought is there are too many easy experience points available in the middle. I want to contest with ghouls. The contest didn't go that well, really. He brought some ghouls, but he lost them. And now Happy still has the dominant hand, and he's down 2 ghouls.
Players' forces
So,
are under attack.
And basically 2 fiends.
yeah. Yeah, it didn't work out. He was the way he was planning, I suppose.
We'll see. If there was a deeper strategic timing behind it, he'll probably explain it one day. We do get the fiend transition though, but Happy's map control is noticeable.
If he gets the natural creep here, that's going to get him close to 3 as well. Death Knight wants to harass right here, but he's lacking that level 2, Neo. He's lacking that level 2 real bad.
So
Steal here would be huge.
0.7 on the lich already. Wants this ghoul. He is playing with a little more risk than he ideally wants, I think. This ghoul is safe. The camp is cleared. Finally, the first fiend arrives and maybe gets a ghoul of Happy. Good job, Skeletons.
DK now very close to the level 2, but he still needs a little bit more. And the Lich doing nothing spectacular, but honest work. Picking off a few skellies here and there, getting a few creeps here and there. Very close to his own level 3.
Ghoul's still alive. Second fiend is coming in. This is the firepower 1-0 usually has. This is tempting to aim for the ghoul in the back, but Happy moves them back. Back to the lumber mill. They go. And Tech is finishing at pretty much the same timing. This time, Happy is even ahead.
Yeah, that's wild. With the Dead Fiend build, normally you always expected to have the faster tech. Happy could now go and start his tier 3, and that he will. And so there's going to be no tech timing advantage for 1-0 this game. I wonder if Happy identifies this. If he realizes he is not behind in tech, maybe even ahead, that might allow for a different hero and not a Dark Ranger if you don't feel like you need a hero right away from the tavern. There has been a clear lack of Crypt Lord so far this game. I think there could be an opening to play some Crypt Lord here as a third hero.
Yeah, to echo that, 1-0 was the one who implemented Crypt Lord into this matchup as a third hero. Or Lich Invis. The plays by Happy, dude.
What's he gonna go for? DK or Creep?
He's going for the DK. Big mana potion. That means
Oh,
no survivability. He saves him, though.
He didn't really chase after him. Couldn't he have gotten that kill, maybe? Lich didn't really run after him, surprisingly. Sick Nova, though. With the Nova, he hit the DK and got the last hit.
Oh, sick. Okay, satisfied with that. Where was I? I was about to say 1-0 was implementing the Crypt Lord, but then Happy copied that style, and that made 1-0 move away from the Crypt Lord afterwards. Big mana sold again. Wants to accelerate a little bit, but yeah, all timing windows are out the window.
Alright. 1-0 breathing a sigh of relief. If the DK goes down there, this game is probably over instantly. But with the DK alive, continuing to creep, working towards level 3, absolutely still a chance, especially if 1-0 keeps taking these good fights early on tier 3. I feel like Happy, so far in these first engagements on tier 3, has always gotten the shorter end of the stick. Also on the last map, remember how he lost a Fiend and 2 Ghouls right away when 1-0 fell back into that favorable position on LR.
Yeah, but that's kind of natural due to the build, right? 1-0 always has more Fiends for this first fight. That is, for some reason, still the case. It shouldn't really be. But then there is an opening once again. DK level 3 for 1-0. Nice. Boots of Kel'Thuzad for Happy. Not so nice. Hopefully he didn't use all his item luck on map 2.
It's the Dark Ranger confirmed, Neo. Kel'Thuzad's boots on the Dark Ranger are amazing. You're still sleeping on it.
You just have a weird Dark Ranger foot fetish.
Dude, main stat is main stat. It doesn't matter the hero. Main stat is main stat, bro.
Yeah, you want the strength on the DK?
Yeah, in this matchup for sure. We've been seeing how much damage he's been taking.
He got the rings again. I love that.
The player's forces are under attack.
Yeah, that's actually quite the help. Rings and gauntlets makes him very tanky in the front line. Happy's DK naturally less tanky because he's the second, not the first hero, going to be a little bit lower level. And he's got no rings. But the gauntlets actually, those also do help. It's going to be... I was about to say another double Dark Ranger game, but there's no Dark Ranger yet for 1-2-0.
It kind of lines up with his timing of Autumn Leaves, right? He's moving to the middle now. Everything but a Dark Ranger would be quite a surprise. The solo level. Invo Potion. No Invo Potion.
Yeah, Invul unhappy. Maybe he identified that the last game, the Invul Potion situation was the problem. And this is something very relevant, of course, on this map. Only one shop. These Invuls are gonna be premium.
Oh, that's so close, man. He was just 7 seconds off, but Happy is forcing the issue. And the DK and the Dark Ranger were not part of the fight initially. Now they are. And this is 1-2-0's Destroyer timing against the Ghouls, falling one after the next. Coil would be ready to save the Fiend. Oh, doesn't use it. Saves it for maybe more important units here. That Fiend's that's still in the fight.
Having off both destroyers without getting mana from one of them. Silence on the heroes, quickly dispelled. The Lich 1-0 in trouble. Silence comes in, right clicks coming through. The Lich is going down. Huge kill for Happy to take the lead in this game. Ghouls have fallen, but kills have been found.
Oh man, and oh, that Coil was so clutch, Jesus. Lich, of course, the big damage dealer. Little bit of luck, I guess, that the Lich didn't level up to 3. That would have been really expensive. What a silence by 1-2-0 by Happy, though. Really, really well done. We brawl, but how can you out-brawl Happy with the Lich, with Orb, with everything?
Player's forces are under attack.
Destroyer caught, looking for the kill with the web, but Happy is here to protect his unit. Destroyers were chasing a bit too far into 1-2-0's base. He could have dispelled that silence had he been there in position. Now the dust settles and the Lich is soon going to be back. 1-2-0 finds himself ahead in supply, so this might not be that big of a lead for Happy after all.
And Happy also has 0 Fiends left. Has to rebuild that. Big late game damage dealers. Now Happy is going for consumables on 1-2-0's side on the map. 1-2-0 goes to the lab, which Happy already took. Chance for Sobi, chance for more damage. Will he wait this out so the Lich gets level 3? It kind of feels likely.
The red camp item was a Book of the Dead, right?
Yep.
Okay, that got sold, was of no use. But this one certainly is. Big healing potion from the enemy turtle camp, really good. Happy gonna get big consumables here. And if he got the big mana potion, I hope he's not gonna sell it.
Probably not. Survivability, many good. Happy has a Watcher Ward on the left-hand side, so he sees if 1-2-0 is aiming to contest that. The only thing that he's contesting at the moment is the shop. Invo Potion number 2 goes to him, so we're at 1-1. And Remo the Prophet with the big mana potion for Happy, but also on the other side, red spot 1-2-0.
Potion?
Huh?
There's no big mana potion, is there?
Big Invo.
Ah, yeah, you said big mana.
Forces
No.
are under attack.
Yes.
No. Remo, you never listen to me.
There is video evidence, Theo. I wouldn't be...
It's AI manipulated.
Alright, just blame AI. Be like Twitter, Neo. Just blame AI.
Oh my god. No. We don't want that. And 1-2-0 doesn't want this creep check.
Oh, the red camp item is not picked up yet. One fiend about to fall. He gets it. What is it? I'm not seeing it.
Helm of Valor.
That is pretty poor, actually. But maybe he can get out without too many losses. Destroyers could be getting caught in the back pretty easy with the web. The Nova connects well. Heal scroll necessary against it. Happy now has to reposition. His own fiend's taking a lot of damage as well. And a bunch of destroyers are in the air. He's going to be running out of mana first. For Happy, it's looking good. He's got lots of juice still on the Death Knight. And potions, but he loses the Lich! Not fast enough with the Invuln! Perfect timing on the Nova. Oh, Happy! Giving perhaps this map away.
Am I watching Happy vs. Labby, the rerun? This is exactly the time and place where he lost the map to the Korean. And now it's happening again. 2 destroyers, the web of a lifetime, and 1-2-0 is miles ahead. Plus the Sea Giant coming. Expo plays down on the back of this fight. 1-2-0 outmaneuvers Happy. And makes a little bit of a mistake with the rally point, so that's a free kill, but we ignore that.
To punish the economy. There's no TP on 120, so this could be good damage done to the mining. But Lich is getting slowed, not getting in range for the Nova here for a while. And this is also lots of distraction away from the expansion. So this is, I think, almost good news for 120.
I feel like these late game expansions, that is a new element to 120's play that we haven't seen too often. And Happy still seems to need some time to process this. This is not what he practiced for. This is not what he anticipated. 120 with the strats, man. And, of course, the glorious execution on top of things is in the lead, and he might get back-to-back map wins here against Happy.
And now it almost seems like a guarantee. That expansion is about to be ready. Acolytes already hustling over. And he's getting caught with the destroyers.
Not good, dude. Not good. We're getting closer and closer to the victory. Fiends, of course, first target. Coil might save him. Has to take care of that web somehow. Again, moving away from Burrow after map 1. We're going closer and closer to Destroyer Wars. We're happy. Lich again. Town Portal this time.
I think Happy is once again completely unaware of this expansion. He hasn't sent a scout out yet. Would be easy to do with skellies or ghouls. This game Happy is not struggling on the lumber. That's at least something, I guess. There's in fact an item up there. Ring for the Death Knight is pretty good. The 120 is now going to be pulling ahead little by little. Going to go into upkeep as Happy is trying to pivot into gargoyles, which has always been a difficult counter to Destroyers. Because, of course, there's Nova on the other side.
There's Nova, Dark Ranger, good damage with these items. Web is a thing, even though you need it against Destros most likely. This will free the sky a little bit. But 120, similar to Last Refuge, only has to play the passive part, kills the scout, gets level 4. What a nice, important moment here. Plus another camp. Man, I'm so excited I got a hiccup. The fuck is this
120 is
Warlock
getting
doing?
excited as well. He's got his Ziggurats finishing at the expansion. If he sets up 2 towers here, that would be absolutely enormous for the defense. He's got enough resources, going for a Nerob first. Happy knows there's no time like the present.
Ooh, here is the push. Happy knows. Fiend safe to the side. There is a little bit of a supply lead. Of course, 120's reinforcements will come in faster, but the start to the fight is great for Happy.
Lots of skellies on the ground for a little bit for 120. For Happy, excuse me. 120 has to dispel them, and now they are gone.
Lich.
Lich in trouble here as well on both sides. Invuln forced. Happy has more mana on the first hero, but nothing left on the DK. Invuln, 7 seconds. But that is going to be running out quick.
We need to hold on 120's side. Coil ready. We fight in tower range. Happy's Destroyer again disappearing quickly despite the gargoyles. He can't move in too far with that Lich. You can never be slowed down. Happy, you started well, but the home turf advantage is too much. 120 back to back. Happy is in the process of losing 2 Undead mirrors in a row.
It does seem to be his struggle matchup at the moment. Springtime could be our last map already.
Match points, guys. Match points. M-Dubs, thank you for the sub for 8 months. Much love. Springtime it is. Happy in the red. 120 with match points. 2 match points in the blue. Can he close it out right here? Springtime, very positional. This will be more than the other maps, I guess, about creeping and spots. There's so many good ones, different creep routes as well. Very curious how they approach this, and 120, I think, already in his comfort zone, going into Fiends faster than last game.
Happy bringing 4 ghouls over. Oh, this might be level 1 base attack.
A player's forces are under attack.
Yeah, no creeping. Risky business. 120 is pretty good against this.
He's going for the green though. Nerob Tower is coming up. That's a huge defensive help, obviously. If Happy doesn't attack right now with his 4 ghouls, then why bring out 4 ghouls? Because this costs him a lot of lumber.
Yeah. I mean, it kind of evens out to a degree with the forward narrow tower. Nice of 1-0 to anticipate that, by the way. That an attack is coming. Or was supposed to come, I guess. It's, not a good sign for all the happy fans out there.
Yeah, you can do this exact same play with just 3 ghouls and just stack a lot faster. So that's why I feel like this doesn't really make sense. The Yoda narrow tower, I think, is something that once there goes down, goes for every time. It can slow down your tech a little bit, but it's just so much security that it's hard to give up. And so far the DK is keeping up very well in creep speed with the Lich, but now from 2 to 3 is where the Lich can have the big upper hand with all these ghouls that he's working with.
Oh well, Nova on the DK, circlet for 1-0, a little bit of a mental defeat for Happy. We all know that he likes to cosplay as a princess, especially on the Lich, but he got the claw to make up for the damage, he got the gauntlets to make up for the HP, and this is the big attack that Happy wanted all along.
We have a backup Acolyte here, by the way, so this means Happy needs to get at least 2 Acolyte kills to make this worth it. 1-0 seems to be in a good position to defend, though. Ghouls are involved, Skellies have been summoned. The Lich, if he gets surrounded, this could be terrible news for Happy, but pulling back with the Lich, and now quick micro reaction necessary for 1-0.
Really remarkable how quickly he identified the play, similar to how he build-ordered Starbuck a little bit, who went for the Pally Rifle here. Ghoul going down, still troublesome, but so far, all 6 Acolytes alive.
No mana available for Nova anymore. It is a lot of lost mining time, but it seems like enough Acolytes should be surviving this. Happy so far hasn't lost much either, though, so this is significant to keep in mind. Not sure if he lost a ghoul yet, but he's about to.
1 Acolyte down. Everything from here on out hurts, but the tech is done too. This will cost. We take a look at the gold and compare this a little bit. 1 ghoul still remaining, but will be cleaned up. Barely below 10,000. That's a 300 gold difference. That's basically a tech.
Yeah, 2 for 2 ghouls, so kind of even there. You could even make the argument that 1-0 needs to remake those ghouls more urgently because he needs that lumber. So now the tech starts. What is the difference going to be looking like in the end? Tech has begun, but for the Lich, 1-0 has to wait a little bit.
Yeah, I'd say it's still a solid outcome for Happy, as 1-0 is so tech dependent. Throwing him down in that regard without feeding that DK up to 3 is nice. Of course, he takes a penalty on his Lich progress, and then we'll see if that has a ripple effect down the road, as level 3 is still delayed. Items again, great. 1-0 looking for these Watch Awards, the 2nd time already, and finds them.
About to hit level 3, about to get the consumable here as well. I don't hate this position for 1-0. Slaughterhouse and the Necropolis. Oh, because he's so low lumber. 1-0's Lich, though, is really late this game. That is definitely a little wrinkle in his game plan.
Exactly. Lich will get level 3 for Happy. Since he's low on lumber, Destroyers might also be delayed. But this is not a game that you can just carbon copy onto anything else. The timings are all out the window for both players.
Interesting game state for sure. 1-0 is going to get the next consumable. Big heal potion here picked up. Purchases another circlet. So this Lich of his is going to be enjoying some good inventory right out the gate.
A player's forces are under attack.
Oh, don't want to get those fiends caught right now. 1-0 needs to be careful. Ooh, thankfully that ensnare only lands with the Skelly.
Exactly. That's of course a little bit of XP, but doesn't really matter. Lich out for 1-0 in a second. The tech lead is big. Happy has
a sentry. Behind the cliff. Yo. Both ready with the Coil Nova.
1-0 got it, right?
Yep.
Oh my. The Pork plays, man, with the sentry ward. If he didn't see
Happy mistimes the Coil Nova. Since when does that happen?
I tell you, man, it's rare. He's a bit shaky. And this is Rune Braces, kinda nice. Return Nova on simply the Furborg, but it affects ghouls and it affects skeletons. So 1-0, despite taking a little, I don't know, not a beating, like a little dent in the tech. He's up ahead once again. He is in his comfort zone now once this destroyer upgrade is finished.
Happy's very underleveled on the DK. He needs level 2 at least. Losing another ghoul, the coil is too late. This is looking very bad for Happy right now.
Yeah, Happy needs a turnaround similar to Autumn Leaves. Like, he's still got time. Money was an issue, actually. Wait, where's the destroyer upgrade? It's still not coming. This time, preferring Dark Ranger. And Happy with the Crypt Lord.
This map, which is rather small with not that many creeps, going Crypt Lord here seems a bit unusual. But I guess it's time to try something else.
Chat is saying Happy is blue. No, chat, I checked now 4 times. Because I wasn't sure myself. Blue is orange, which is a weird thing to say, but orange is 1-0. It is what it is. Thank you, old mate dad. Nice to see you streaming as well, mate.
It is what it is, Neo. And right now, it is looking very good for 1-0.
Still has to close it out, though. Happy isn't dead before he's really dead.
5 words.
Right? I'm here for the wisdom.
1-0 looking for the next creep jack. Happy can still not fight.
Devotion, nice. Level 2 online. Destroyer upgrade. We look at the Blizzard UI. 15 seconds.
Happy clearly behind there. Happy has lots of gold though. Certainly gonna need orb and ritual rod of necromancy. There goes the gold. Happy has no invo potions, by the way. That's a bit scary. Pendant for the Crypt Lord is really good.
It's an extra impale. Love to see it from Happy's side. Plus the rune braces against the nuke on the DK here. And the devotion. These items are really good. But items aren't everything. Destroyer's ready.
Heroes stacked up for the triple silence, by the way. Impale versus silence. And again, 1-0 gets the last hit.
So sick, this silence. You were spot on. Everything clumped. Invite for the silence. 1.9 on the Dark Ranger. Black Arrow enabled.
Happy has lots of items, though. He got oftentimes the experience taken away, but the items pretty much all landed on him. And the red cap is coming up next.
Risky with the Magnetor throwing the snowballs.
Destroyer morphs here. Could be huge as well. Impale, Nova, silence, every ability. Very important. First Nova gets countered by the coil though, and the Nova hits the ghouls. That's a lot of damage. Silence being used. Happy has a destroyer to look for the dispel. Impale hitting the entire army. Very well done. That's 2 fiend kills from 1 Impale.
Oh man, and that DK is also in a very precarious situation. Gotta coil out, but how do you heal yourself? You got that potion still. 1-0, you gotta show your fiend micro prowess here to survive the fight.
Nova for the next kill. Coil couldn't quite come in time. Death Knight very low HP. Almost around there against the trees. He's got the heal potion, and that was much needed. Still a bunch of mana left over on the Death Knight for 1-0. Happy seems to be taking this fight by storm. The Crypt Lord impact is huge. Still 2 more impales. Is this game again turning around after one player got a lead? This has been happening this whole series.
This is not what we've seen before, man. 1-0's timing didn't work anymore. We're still fighting for the creeps here, for the levels. And this time, it was Happy getting the tracker. Pressure on the DK once again. Web on the Destroyer once again. Level 4 on the DK, not that meaningful. He used the coil on the Fiend to save that one. Happy almost saving the Fiend to the side. 1-0, losing another damage dealer here. 43 food only, but the coil to the rescue. But how do you save the Destroyer now?
Destroyer falls, Crypto level 2. Not a super significant level up, but it's more stats. That's pretty good. And still, 3 more impales on the Crypt Lord. Holding on to that mana.
Yeah, really strong. There's not too many targets to hit anymore. Only 2 fiends remaining. Happy seemed to have countered 1-0. Or did 1-0 counter 1-0? That red spot seemed at the very least ambitious.
Yeah, the lead definitely seems to be gone now. And of course, the big upside of Cryptlord is he doesn't get countered by destroyers. That's the problem for the Dark Ranger. She's really good out the box when she comes out on level 1, whether you go Silence or Black Arrow. Mostly it's Silence in this matchup, of course, to look for kills. But the longer the game goes, the more destroyers that there are, the more dispel that is available, the more the Dark Ranger falls off. Late game is on Happy's side here.
Impale, of course, doesn't affect any air units anyway, but the Cryptlord is still very, very tanky. Can absorb some Coil Nova way easier than the Dark Ranger would. Doesn't provide you with skeletons, doesn't have that synergy to fuel the Lich. Speaking of Lich, very underleveled. Happy is 4-3-3, 1-0 is 4-2-2. He needs another creep spot.
Many items for Happy, by the way. Lich is carrying 6, DK is carrying 6. I would give over that Helm of Valor to the Cryptlord. He's going to be a sick tank at the front line. And good damage dealer. Sometimes something that people sleep on, but Cryptlord has good right click, good attack speed, good damage.
Right on. Maybe valuing the survivability on the DK a little bit more. Let's go, everybody. This might be the final dance for 1-0 on map 4. Happy about to defend the first match point of the game if 1-0 doesn't create a miracle here.
Trading out Fiends early on. There's a denied. Running the experience at least right there. Here comes the Impale, stunning much of the Undead army of 1-2-0. The Nova follow-up is so easy to get kills here for Happy as it seems. And the Dark Ranger doesn't even have mana for the Silence. What's she really doing right now? She's supposed to create skeletons. Death Knight in trouble as well. If there's an Impale, this DK would be dead. Turning around for a moment. Don't do that, 1-2-0. You gotta keep running. And he gets away because there was no more mana. The Lich trying to get away as well. Getting blocked by the DK. Happy can smell the victory. But the Lich also just getting away.
Same as the Fiend here, I guess. We got the mana now. Lich is back in fighting shape. Destroyer morph to save him for now. He needs a fan of coils to save this fight.
Really good saves by 1-2-0, dude. So many hurt units here. In the end, it's Happy the one losing a Destroyer as the supply is still even. But yeah, indeed. 1-2-0 needs a lot of healing. Where that statue at?
Where that statue at? It's coming now, but it's a long time. Gets another Fiend with the... Oh, doesn't get another Fiend with the Destro. Is chasing still. But Happy is a bit hesitant to push further forward. Destroyer not part of the fight here. Same for the Fiend, of course. A little miracle that 1-2-0 is alive 15 minutes in.
Still some creeps on the map. Most importantly, of course, the red camp. Is Happy gonna try to contest? It seems like he should. He has been owning these last couple of fights. Finds himself a little bit low on mana right now, but of course the statue is working on it. Yeah, Happy's bringing some ghouls as well. He knows this red camp is now the most important thing in the game.
Plus he got an invo potion, plus he got a safety town portal, and again we meet each other at the red with the Magnetor. Okay, that's some extra experience free for Happy. Knows that this will all take a lot of time. Do we have enough mana for this fight? Lich in trouble on both sides! Evaporates into some ice splinters. Happy is not gonna fall 3-1 as he did against Labby. No, he brings us to game 5.
That got real close though, Neo. That was a huge lead for 1-0. Terrific early game. Little bit of a gamble by Happy early on, going for the base attack, which didn't exactly work out too well. He did some damage, but not much, honestly. And the biggest problem, I think, was his DK ended up being late, and he couldn't creep the DK for a long time. But then came the second gamble, Cryptlord. Not a typical Cryptlord map, but he was hoping for the Impales to have big impact, and indeed, they did. And that Cryptlord turned around the game because his might cannot be matched.
His might cannot be matched, indeed. We end up on Northern Isles, which is the Undead playground. This will be a lot about shop control and maybe also marketplace control. Stacking up the heroes early will be part of the game. And we have some mantles there, claws, circlets, all up for grabs.
1-0 is not creeping on his side, by the way. Not going for those claws of attack early. He's trying to take camps away from Happy. That's pretty cool. This also means creeping these is a bit tougher. It's going to take perhaps a little bit more damage. Has to invest some good mana here early. Oh, Happy sees it with the Skelly. Could try to go over there with the Lich to try to punish. Finish the first cap. And only got a ring so far.
think it's a bit too late, to be honest, to get anything done here. Yo, thank you, Wonder Brown. Your beautiful belly rifles. Yeah. Play, I don't know, monks and spear people in Age of Empires. 1-0 with the clean creep, 1.6 reju potion up. Always helpful when you're up against the range attacks of a Lich. And I'd say from this early 1 minute, a little bit of an advantage, 1-0.
Fall back to his side now, creep up a little bit more, get that quick level 2. I would love to see Happy here trying to creep heavily, get that level 3 fast. On this map, like right here at the lab, you can get big experience very fast if you're left alone. And indeed, right now Happy is left alone. From this camp though, he's unlikely to get a great item. Usually from this camp there's more defensive items dropping. Ring, Talisman Evasion, Parry up, all that. Only a small chance of the claws +8.
Yep. Rings, not too bad though. He got one already. 1-0 jumping from green to green as his firepower is of course limited early on. He got the Talisman of Evasion. Not that great, I'd argue, but a lot of gold. And you can put it to the pawn shop that is the marketplace. Tech-wise, everything as expected. 1-0 slightly ahead. Happy's graveyard seems a bit off. Ah, no, it's actually perfect.
Trying to snipe the item at the Magi. If 1-0 sees this. But did he see the Lich passing by? He barely didn't. Oh, that's a bit of a shame, dude.
He did. But it's too late. And now Lich is level 3. Can he grab ghouls?
Claws +8, by the way. Ghoul kill found, but denied.
The Reju potion will have a nice ring soon once the Lich is gone. Happy stalling a little bit. Yeah, that level 3 is of course the most oppressive you can be at this stage of the game. 1-0 producing his own Lich, producing his own tier 3, and once again we count the seconds how far the Chinese is ahead.
Resources now available for Happy. There it is. Tech begins. 20 seconds roughly of a lead.
Boots on the Lich, of course.
Again, stacking up heavy on items. This ended up making a big difference on Springtime, right? He lost a bunch of blast hits, but got tons of items from the center, from the outskirts. Looking for the next one here at the natural, and that is Parry apt. Not the best, really, but could still be more gold. Could also still be better items if he sells them at the marketplace that you mentioned earlier.
Claws +5, of course. Stack that damage. He respects the HP value against the opposite nuke. And we fight in the middle. Nobody's really close to tier 3, but the unique spots at Merchant, at Marketplace, very, very juicy.
Yeah, normally when players pick this map, they have these center camps in mind, and they feel like with a good power spike timing, they can grab at least one, maybe even both camps for themselves. 1-0 trying to do that right now with his Fiends out on the map, but it's only 2 Fiends. It's not like he is so strong at the moment, and Happy's looking to contest.
And of course the stronger Nova again on the DK. Nothing to save him here. He's diving deep, waiting for the next Nova. Ready in 3. Can he create a lot of distance? He can, and with that the creep spot conquered by Happy.
1-0 doesn't want to give it up yet. Statue arriving for him pretty soon. This is going to be a huge help. Coil Nova, though, gets the last hit, and that is Quel'Thala's boots. That is once again pointing towards the Dark Ranger third.
If you get a Crypt Lord, that is of course very useless. Lots of lost time for 1-0, but oftentimes he can make up for that XP difference with the first fight of the game. We have tier 3 now. Nova aggressively used on the DK. Get out of my middle. Oh, Nova on the DK!
What?
Town Portal used. Oh, bad. A little bit careless. 1-0 here. Giving up on Tavern control. That delays the Dark Ranger as well.
If Happy could get the other item on the other side, that would be absolutely perfect. He's shuffling around the Rod of Necromancy right now. He's pretty hurt himself, though. Might be a bit of a risk trying to go for the Warlord, because 1-0 is coming right back.
Game on a knife set. Pulling the next camp. This time to Happy. We got the first orb up, of course, courtesy for 1-0. Destroyer upgrade started. We take a look. 40 seconds. And then we have the resources for the Dark Ranger, and then 120's tier 3 is online.
Okay, very humbly, just looking for his level 2 right here. Big item for 120. Lots of great finds here available. Even the Wanderer's Wind can be good in the right situation. Picks up a mantle as well, trying to pimp up his Lich. Right now he's living in the shadow of Happy's stronger Lich. And the item is on the ground. Heal wards. Not that good in Undead Mirror, actually. Gonna be sold.
Okay. Even with the 2 hurt heroes. At all. Let's go down to like 0 speed and then sync up again later until we're back. I'm at 9:19 right now.
Yep.
Chat, we're back. And back. Okay, okay. Back. All right. Remo, we got a sync. I'm back to normal speed. 9:23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 23.
Alright, red camps have just been taken, and Happy got the most desired undead item on the map. It is the Kaga's Pipe of Insight.
Oh my god, that's crazy! So much regen.
1-0. Sending out the Acolyte. These surprise expansions have been making Happy's life hell. And I wonder if he's going to check it this time.
He's so far away from it. Hard to see what Happy's been sending out on this map because of the blue color on ice terrain. But so far, he has no clue, it seems. Oh, this is so hard to predict, though.
If Happy wanted to, he could just go for his own expansion. Oh, he's not aware. And I don't think he's thinking about it.
That is such a game-winning curveball. Holy. 3-3-3 heroes. Definitely better for 1-0. He also got the heal potion here. It's very nice. Happy is scouting for... I think it was a scout by Happy, right? At the top. Looking for an expansion. But wrong time, wrong place.
Setting the Scroll the Beast? No, he is. Okay, there's a lull in the action right now. This is where suddenly you think about, hey, maybe I should be scouting the corners. Perhaps. Ghoul? Is he gonna get sent out? Oh, dude, this is such a big deal. Is he gonna check the corner or not?
Did the Acolyte see that the Ghoul was running right-hand side? Looks like it. 1-0 immediately going right-hand side. We got 25 seconds, and then the building is up.
Happy sees it. Should pull the Ghoul back if he wants to save it. I guess it's too late now. And 1-0 already in upkeep.
Heal scroll on him. Heal scroll and invuln for Happy. Upgrades 1-1. Oh, 1-0 on both sides. And Happy following into upkeep immediately. So far, this expansion didn't pay off. Happy has to conquer the bottom right.
He does have an Acolyte here at the gold mine. In theory, he could go for his own Haunted, but that would probably just take too long. Happy forced to go all in, with the Scout being late.
And Crypt Lord not level 3. No way to get there before the fight.
Got some Wand of Illusions in. Might make things a bit confusing. Well, he figured out who the real one is. In we go with the Impale. The first Impale Nova is supposed to find kills. But the Fiend survives with the Coil coming in right away.
Oh,
and a heal scroll.
So close! Again, heal scroll used as you say. Fiend still falling. One of the kills on 1-2-0, of course, aiming for the ghouls. Destro falling. Happy now level 3.
Level 2 Impale here doing a good job. Happy gets level 4 on his Lich, but of course cannot use the Dark Minions from a Dark Ranger. More Fiends are falling. Goes for both players. Going for the hero kill here, trying to take out the Dark Ranger, and with the Impale double hit on the heroes, the Dark Ranger is dead, but Happy's DK is super hurt.
And he has no TP, of course. Can't get out there. Lich on the other side. Clutch Coil gets the Nova. Lich in trouble. DK in trouble. Game on the line. Invo potion pass. What about that Lich? Got a heal potion here. Crazy hero action. Nova on the DK trying to force him out. There's soon to be an Impale. But what about that Lich? Gets Nova once again. Game on a knife set.
They're now chasing after the heroes. Happy has so much more mana thanks to that item, but has to be very careful with the positioning. DK, by the way, far forward. Bold play. Next Impale is going to be ready very soon.
Ooh, long distance coil on both sides. Repositioning here. 120 has to keep his macro up. Where are the units? We need reinforcements. He's floating 560 gold. That's a bit too much, maybe. Happy catching destroyers. Might be able to take them out. 5 food gone. We're even.
DK about to level 4. With that, he's also going to get more HP, but the Death Knight is still very much in the red. Maybe he wants to get onto Blight for some more healing. Statue is still there. This statue for Happy right now, so important. Acolytes going off the line. Expansion not paying off anymore for the time being.
120 still had some resources floating. This is level 4 though, as you mentioned. Dark Ranger, we still have to wait 50 seconds for the Dark Ranger. I don't know if 120 can recover.
If he kills the Death Knight, he should win this game. Can he find that kill though? He's working with only 2 heroes versus 3. We got 2 Impales again.
Yeah, and the only crowd control is unhappy with the Impale. Going for the Lich, far away. No silence on the other side. Coil perfect. Going for the DK now. No potion, as you mentioned. Another Fiend falling. The webs by Happy are clutch. Dark Ranger still 12 seconds. It needs to be a DK kill. Death Pact.
With the Death Pact, he survived and he's going for the return.
Onto the Lich we go, and that's nuked. 120 blowing a lead against Happy, similar to B-Cup. 3-2. The clutch Death Pact play. He saw this Hail Mary coming, and we got the Undead triangle. Labby beats Happy. Happy beats 120. 120 beats Labby. These Undeads, man, on a crazy level. What a series. And Happy prevails.
Sick back and forth, very entertaining. Best of 5 between these two. That's the way we know them to play.